Hey babe, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how arousal and connection equals more money for you. So let's talk about money for a moment. Now, money, where does money come from? Because we're going to talk about arousal and connection. Yes, we're going to get into the juice. We're going to get into the, all that stuff. But I want you to understand money and how money works first, because once we have that understanding, then we'll see how the arousal and the connection that you currently do not have, how when you do have it and when you increase that, how that's going to actually play out into your bank account, right? So let's think about how money comes into being, or how you get money, how we get money. We get money from other people, period, full stop, that's it, okay? If you have some money, you got it from someone else, whether it was that you sold something and someone exchanged the thing that you sold them for money, or maybe you have a job and that boss gave you some money, which actually then trickles down to the fact that there was a service or a product somewhere that was exchanged for your boss to get the money to then give you the money. If you inherited some money for maybe somebody left you an inheritance, or you got some money that came from someone and they also got it from someone by selling something, doing something. Even if you save money, you had to get the money from someone first to then put it in the savings. If you invested your money and you got a return, it's because you invested in a stock or a share or a product or a company. That company offered a service or a product. They got a profit and then they paid you a dividend, okay? Money comes from other people, full stop, that's it. So if you want more money, it's safe to say that you just need to help more people, and help more people at a price, okay? Because some people, for example, maybe this is not you, but I know for me, when I just became an entrepreneur, I had this problem, and it's because I came from the school of social work, okay? I was a social worker before I became a coach, before I became an entrepreneur. I always had entrepreneurship going on in the background of my life, but before I became a coach, I was a social worker. And in social work, you want to help people, so you want to even you have to do it for free. It's okay. You just help people for free. You don't get paid for it. You just help people for free. And even to this day, I still volunteer and I still help people for free. And I still have, on occasion, pro bono work. For example, like at the end of this, I'll invite you to a makeover session, which is free. Little things like that. I still do things giving back and do some stuff for free. However, if you want to increase your income, it's safe to say that if you help more people with a product or service that is paid for, then you'll make more money, okay? So if you don't have money, if you aren't making as much money, if you are not hitting your goal, if your goal is 3 million and you didn't hit it, if your goal is, 6 figures and you didn't hit it, if your goal is $1 billion and you didn't hit it, or whatever your goal is, okay? Whatever your goal is. If you ain't hitting your goal, it's because you ain't helping enough people that will be equivalent to that amount of money. Now, this is where the word connection comes in, all right? We're getting there. So we talked about money, now we're gonna talk about connection. And we're gonna talk about arousal in a sec, so stay tuned. We're going outside? It's okay. Connection, okay? Yes, let's talk about connection. Hello. So now we're going to talk about connection. Okay, where was I? Focus. Let's talk about connection. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to the video. Let's talk about connection. So we talked about money. You know how money comes from other people. The more people you help for at a rate for a product or a service, obviously the more money you're gonna make. So let's talk about connection, right? So if you are trying to make more money, if you have a goal of 3 million or 30 million or $1 billion, doesn't matter what your actual goal is. If you have a goal and you're not hitting that actual goal, it's because there's a disparity, there's a gap between how many people you're meant to be helping to receive that amount of money. Notice I did not talk about how much time that you had to do or anything like that, because a lot of people think that it's about, the hustle. They think it's about being burnt out. And I can tell you for a fact that Richard Branson Warren Buffett, Oprah, you know, who else is a billionaire? Like Jeff Bezos of Amazon, like all these billionaires, they have the same 24 hours that we have. All these billionaires, they have the same amount of time in a day that you have. So it's not about the time. It's not about you being burnt out and working extra hard to create that, you know, that which you desire. It's not about that. It's actually about the connection. And not just connecting on a surface level, meaning you have a whole bunch of followers on Instagram or a whole bunch of subscribers on YouTube or a whole bunch of people on your email list. That's not what connection is. I'm talking first and foremost about connection with yourself, your soul, and your higher vision. Okay, what is your higher vision? Let's look at it. Let's look at Oprah. Her billionaire status and legend status came from her connecting with millions and millions of people through her work. Same with Amazon. Jeff Bezos, millions and millions of lives are touched every single day through Amazon. Not just the people who buy the products, but the people who sell products on Amazon, the people who work at Amazon, people who are able to, like, I know I was talking to someone the other day and they told me that they worked part-time, you know, doing the deliveries for Amazon. I was just like, wow, so many people's lives, that person has a family, you know, so many things happen because of this one company. There's a higher vision behind that company. And the problem is right now, the way how you set your goals, even though there is some of your higher vision in it, you are living to some degree towards your higher vision. It's not, you are not even 10% close to the potential of what you're meant to do and who you're meant to be. And that is because you are not fully connected to yourself, your truth, and your higher vision. Now, what is this higher vision? The higher vision is what your soul ordained, orchestrated, intended before you even came to this planet, okay? Your little soul, not little soul, your great big soul actually, before it emanated to this time element, it said, I want to do this. And it created a mission, it created a vision, it created a goal of what it wanted to experience. It created an idea, it created an essence of what you were meant to become. And that beingness of you becoming that version of yourself who lives in that way, doesn't just experience full joy and bliss, which is where the arousal comes in, but that version of yourself also creates arousal and bliss and expansion for every person that it comes in contact with. And again, this is not about superficial numbers and vanity numbers on social media, which even though a part of you may say, you know, I don't really care about the numbers, but deep inside you do, because a part of that is you're seeking validation. And I mean, this is not to make you feel bad, because I know so many times we have like so much shame around having those feelings that we are afraid to just admit it. And that's why I'm saying, like, the first and foremost thing is to be connected to yourself. And when you look to yourself and you realize, oh my God, I did just want to be accepted. I just wanted to be loved. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to prove some people who told me I couldn't do it, I wanted to prove them wrong. You know, I wanted to prove the haters wrong. And because you don't admit, and I say because we don't admit that shadow side of ourselves, we are not fully connecting with all aspects of our being, we then create this facade and this false image in our mind of what direction we're going in and what our motivation is and what our driver is. But that's not the true driver. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you an example of myself. So for me, I remembered wanting to become the best-selling author, and you know, of course, I knew the logical answer and the smart diplomatic answer was to say I wanted to be a best-selling author so that I could get the message out there and touch people's lives. But if I'm honest, because now I'm connected with myself, I can look at that version of me and with compassion realize that version of me wanted to have the vanity numbers, wanted to have the best-selling book so I could have the title, so I could feel like I accomplished something, which that's not a bad thing. I did accomplish something. I did get the title, yay. But that wasn't the reason why my soul would truly want to be to have a best-selling book, for example. Another example is, let's talk about numbers on Instagram. You know, I remember when I had the goal, I was like, I want to get past 10,000 followers. You know, that was like the first goal. And I would do all the little hacks and the techniques and the strategies to get myself to more than 10,000 followers. And at the end of the day, when you arrive at the 10,000 followers, you look back and you're like, is that all? Is that it? And you can always tell when your goal is not connected to your soul's alignment. When you have achieved the goal and you're done and you feel like, oh my gosh, like, is that it? When you achieve a milestone that everyone thinks you should be happy, you should be excited, and when you feel depressed after you achieve the milestone, it's because somewhere along the way you were not connected to your soul's true essence for wanting that thing. So I'll give you, again, example of myself. When I became a best-selling author, the first 2 weeks after I got that title, I was excited. Like, people from high school were messaging me. Like, I felt so good. I was like, yeah, I'm a best-selling author. I finally started to feel like I was enough. I started to feel like I was good enough, like I was worthy. Exactly what you've used your accomplishments to make it mean for you. No offense, but if you're watching this, it's because you need this message. So let go of the shame. This is not about judgment. This is about being aware of what the problem is and connecting to even your shadow side and your darkness, so that you can fully connect to your light and have the arousal and actually create the income and the impact and the influence and the legend status that you know you're meant for. Okay, so for me, 2 weeks after I got the best-selling book, I was like excited. I was just like, hell yeah, woo, just like super excited. However, after the 2 weeks, I just remembered like feeling empty, and I just remembered like thinking, okay, so what's next? Like, you know, I'm supposed to be happy. Like, I have this new logo I can put on my website. I have this new title. I can update my Instagram title. You know, like, I have this accomplishment. I should, like, what's next, you know? What should I do next? Like, how else can I top this? How can I top this? It was about topping it, not for my soul, but topping it because, like, oh my God, now people expect me to do something else great. And I felt sort of depressed for like a solid, you know, week probably, you know? And it was just like, this wasn't it. And it made me reevaluate life. It made me reevaluate, okay, I got to this thing and I don't feel like it didn't change who I am. It didn't change anything. Yes, people bought the book. Yes, people loved the book. Yes, because the book was amazing. No offense, like, my book was amazing. The stories I shared. But did it do what did I live up to what I was really meant to do? No, not even close. Yeah, I had the over 10,000 followers, but did I really move people? Did I really shift people's lives? Did I really do it in the way I was meant to? Yes, some people's lives were touched. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like nobody got influenced through my work or impacted. Heck yes. All my clients that I've had up to this point found me because I had more than 10,000 followers, or found me because of my best-selling book. But was that it? Is that where I was meant to stop? No, that was not my true potential. That was not what my desire, that was not what my soul desired. And it wasn't until I allowed myself to become aware of my need to be perfect. It wasn't until I became aware of my feelings of inadequacy, my feelings of, am I good enough? My feelings of, do I even love myself? My feelings of, you know, should people love me? Am I lovable? Like, working on those feelings and those things allowed me to connect with myself. And by connecting with myself, I connected with the pains. I connected with the mess. I connected with the teenage version of me who felt like she had to be the leader and take care of everyone and be responsible. I connected to the 4-year-old version of me that was free and playful and open to being creative and expressing herself. I was open to the versions of me that was the bitch, that didn't want to take shit from anyone, that loved to boss people around, that loved to tell people what to do, that loved to interfere. You know, I connected with the version of me that was the seductress, the sexual side of me, the side of me that was like always horny and turned on and like being okay with that and being okay with having intense sexual emotions, you know. And the more I connected with the sides of myself that I suppressed, the more that I connected with the sides of myself that I was not supposed to connect with, the more that I connected with the darkness of my life, the more I connected with the taboo side of myself, my inhibitions, you know, the more I connected with the more I was able to connect with my truth and my purpose, the more I was able to see my clients, to see what the world needed, to see beyond just selling another coaching package, to see beyond just another launch and just another year of income, and to see into what is my long-term goal? What is it that I'm trying to create? How many souls do I really want to touch? How do I want to touch these souls? And then crazy ass ideas like starting a lingerie line would come to me, and crazy ass ideas like, organic skincare brands, and crazy ass ideas like food security. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, I didn't care about food security before. Thoughts of these things, of what my vision for my life is, and my instead of just planning about my next month and my next goal and my next launch and my next year, it was about, oh my God, this is the vision of where I'm to be in 2 years. This is the vision of where I'm to be in 5 years. Oh my God, this is where I'm supposed to be in 25 years. I started to connect not just with the 4-year-old version of myself, the 15-year-old version of myself, not just the 22-year-old version of myself who started a business and felt like she had to look exactly like her mentor and talk like her mentor. Not just did I connect with all those sides of myself, but I connected with my 50-year-old self, my 68-year-old self, the 68-year-old self that she's retired in her business and passed it on to, her generations, her children and her grandchildren. But she's working in advocacy and philanthropy and serving people through food security, and like crazy, amazing ideas would start to come to me. And then I began to be aroused. I began to get so turned on. Like when I'm not even joking. I had to tell Carlo, I was like, babe, I think something's like wrong. Like, because not even like, think about it now, nothing's wrong. Everything is actually perfectly right. But I was just like, babe, oh my God, like I'm writing emails and I'm actually getting horny while writing them. I'm thinking about my program and I'm like, my nipples are getting hard. Like, what's happening to me? Like, oh my God, like really turned on and on fire for life. The point I'm trying to make is this. The more you are aroused and the more you are connected, and I'm not talking about surface level arousal where you go on Tinder and you find a hookup and you like whatever, or you like just go have sex with your partner because you feel horny. I'm talking about real arousal at a soul level that overflows into your physical life. I'm talking about real connection, not just to understanding the mind of your client or your audience so you can use marketing and sell to them, or like understand exactly what the people want and then give it to them so you can get what you want, like this very harsh exchange. I'm talking about real deep, meaningful, passionate connection where you're connected to yourself, your truth, your pains, your fears, your darkness, your shadows, your true desires, your true fantasies, the ones that are crazy, the ones that are out there, the ones that you're not supposed to think about or have or feel or want. Your beliefs that are completely opposite to what the mainstream think, like you connect to that. When you connect to that, you connect with who the deathbed version of yourself, like the part of you that looks back and says, oh my God, I lived, I really lived. When you connect to all of that, you are then able to show up as the version of you who lives in full expression. The version of you who lives in full expression is the version of you that then goes and touches all these lives. It's the version of you that then goes and connects with people and creates a business and a legacy or an organization or a movement even that really matters and that will change the world and that does change the world. And from that, that's when you have the money coming in. That's when you get to be like the Elon Musks that send people into space, or the Richard Bransons that have like, super high speed trains, or like the Oprahs of the world, and the Jeff Bezos that created the largest e-commerce store in the world, and somebody like a John Mackey who has Whole Foods, like you create things, Steve Jobs, like you create things that arouse you, that help you to connect with everyone and yourself and so much, but it brings in not millions, and not just millions for you, but it brings in billions, okay? And so if it is that you are ready to figure out how you can connect with your higher vision, because that's actually one of my spiritual gifts. When I work with my clients, I can see the specifics of their higher vision, meaning exactly what they're meant to do. And I can even see the actions that they're meant to take to step fully into that higher vision of themselves. You know, and half the time it's things that they are afraid to do and wouldn't even think to do. And so if you are ready to be fully connected, to be fully connected to all of who you are, fully connected with your higher vision, meaning the reason you were placed on this planet, and to connect so that you can not just make the money, but that you can have the arousal, that you can feel fulfilled, and that you can be fully turned on by life and by your business and by your work and by everything that you do, then I want to invite you to book in a complimentary makeover session with me. I do not open my calendar all the times for this, and I decided to open it, so I have a few spots available. And I want you to go ahead and click the button below this or click the link below this to book yourself in for a makeover session. Because in the makeover session, what's going to happen is you're going to get on the phone, you're going to talk with me or someone from my team. And what we will do is we will look at exactly where you are right now and where it is that you desire to go. And we are going to help you to create that roadmap that's going to take you from unaroused, disconnected, with not all the overflow of money that you actually really desire, your secret goals. And we're going to create with you that roadmap and that plan of action of how you can really create that connection, and how you can really create the money, and how you can really create that arousal and passion in your entire life, in every area of your life. So hit the link below, hit the button below, book yourself in for a makeover session, and let's get you moving forward so that you can be all that you're meant to be, have all you're meant to have, and experience all that you're meant to experience. Let's get the ball moving forward for you. Let's get the ball moving forward for you, and I look forward to talking to you on the call, or looking forward to getting your time booked in for our session. All right, wishing you a wonderful day. Lots of love to you, kisses, mwah, peace and love to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Until then, I'll see you in the call.